on here, you're welcome to stay and watch the show and listen to all the insights and all the amazing things that we have going on today. I do need to have a couple of disclaimers because this is a featured show. So I want to make sure everybody's aware that this is a featured show. So what does that mean? It simply means that the app features the show, but we have to we have app rules and regulations and formats and requirements that we must follow as feature show content creators on here on the app. So first disclaimer that I want to ask you guys not to do is please refrain from profanity and make sure that you're keeping it respectful and clean in the comment box. Be respectful towards myself and the guests. I don't take anything personal. So if you're disrespectful, what's going to happen is I'll kick you out of the show. And I'm not trying to do that, but I just want to ask you to please respect everybody as it is a feature show. And our time is pressured and it's valued. And my guest's time is also valued. Okay. We want to keep Own It very positive, inspiring. This is a safe space. This is a featured hour where we talk about important topics. I usually pick a topic based on my guests and things that they have told me that they're into, that they like talking about, or it could also be based on their life story. But before we get to the juice of the show, a second disclaimer is please stay throughout the entirety of the show because at the very end of the show there are two things that always happen that get me really excited to share with you guys. The first one is I like to invite both my guests at the very end of the show together in the guest box for final thoughts. I like asking them a question that I always ask everyone on the show. And then I also, just as a thank you, I assign a new bouncer, someone who I welcome to my bouncing family on here. And that person is picked based on the biggest supporter of the day. So my number one gifter supporter of the day, of the show during the show, gets to become my newest bouncer of the day. And every 3, 4, 5 months, I do like a bouncer reset, so it's fair for everyone. But yes, you guys, I'm going to start streaming on here more often. Because I'm making some changes and adjustments in my life lately. And I kind of just wanted to announce that to you guys. I haven't really been on here all that much except for Own It on Tuesdays, but I really want to start connecting more with you. And I also want to invite you all to follow me on Instagram as I am always and very active on Instagram. So, with that said, welcome to Own It, everybody who's here. I see a lot of new usernames. Hello, welcome. Nice to meet you. My name is Cicely. I go by that Cuban girl because obviously I'm Cuban, born and raised. And a little bit about myself is I've been in Los Angeles for the last 10, almost, it's going to be 11 years in September. So yeah, like 10-ish, 10 years and a half. And I have been in the entertainment industry for that long and a little more since I was in Miami. I've done a lot of modeling, which I still do. I do a lot of hair modeling. I do social media, content creating. I'm a digital marketer. And if you guys are interested in learning digital marketing, on my Instagram, I have a link for a digital marketing course that you can purchase from me. So follow me on Instagram if you're interested in that. But I do a lot of different things. I'm also a beauty queen. And what else? I don't know. I do a lot of things in and thank you in the entertainment industry. I have a lot of experience and I love sharing it with all of you guys. That's why I do Own It. I've been doing Own It. This show has been featured for over a year now, basically almost since I started streaming. I think the show got featured a year and a half after I started streaming. I got very lucky and I'm very grateful that the show has been streaming, going on for that long, thanks to you guys. But yeah, the intention with Own It is for you and I to become the best versions of ourselves through owning the uniqueness of who we are. And I believe that we can only do that through truly, truly owning who we are, the good, the bad, the in between. I believe that we all have a story to tell, a story that is worth sharing. And that's why I do Own It, to give other streamers the opportunity to connect with one another, for all of us to get to know each other, and for all of us to grow together in this amazing live streaming community of Meet Me and its sister platforms. So, with that said, welcome to Own It. If you're new in here, make sure that you favor me and my guests and you show some love. And today we have an amazing show, you guys. Today I have picked a topic. Every Tuesday we have a different topic, but today I've picked a topic based on very specifically one of my guests. I always do this, okay? I always pick the topic based on my guest and myself, something that I could see myself and my guest wanting to talk about, and something that will also add value to you guys, because that is the intention with feature shows, right? Hello, Juliet. So I just want to share that today's topic is discipline. Discipline. Why is discipline important? And how we can become more disciplined, especially as content creators, streamers, or in life in general. I think that discipline is so important, and we need to really be able to become disciplined. I want to take a quick second to, before we continue, to say another disclaimer that I totally forgot at the beginning of the show. Because this is a feature show, I am not able to say thank you or to address each and every one of you guys individually. If you send gifts or if you favor me or if you talk to me, just because it's a feature show and I want to be able to respect the format and my guests. But I want you to know my comments are on. I am reading all the comments. I am seeing you. I'm seeing everybody who's tuning in right now. And I want you to know that I appreciate you all. I love all the love, the support, the hearts. I see them, the gifts, Reminder, whoever is my top gifter today will become my newest bouncer. And I'm very grateful that you guys are here. So, thank you. So, with that said, yes, today's topic is disciplined. And we have two amazing guests today. I don't think I know either of them unless they've changed their usernames, but I don't think I know them. I've said this before a couple of times, and then the person's like, "You do know me, it's just have a different name." Well, I'm sorry if you have a different name. Imagine, right? But I actually don't think I know these two guests, and I'm super excited to get to know them and talk to them a little bit. One of them is an active duty U.S. Marine, and the other guest is a streamer who has a show on the app, and I'm really excited to talk to both of them. So, without further ado, I'm going to ask both my guests. Let's see who requests the guest box first. Emoji, are they both on here? I know I saw Craft Mac earlier. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, perfect. So you're actually the first guest that I have written down on my notes. Oh yeah, you guys, if you guys see me looking away, it's because I have everything written down. Like, I'm super old school, so I write everything down every single show. I have a script for them. But so, okay, my first guest of the day, he's an active duty U.S. Marine. He's been streaming for 1 year and 6 months exactly, up to date, and he loves bringing fitness and positivity to the app. Please, everybody, welcome to Own It, Craft Mac.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Oops, excuse me. Camera. There we go.
It's okay.
That should be a lot better.
How
So
are you today? How's everything?
I am doing amazing. Well, thank you for having me on your amazing show. I've actually been here before. I've watched one of your shows, and I asked to be on one a while ago when I talked to Emoji J. So time didn't add up, but there's no better time than now.
I love that. Well, I love that you've been wanting to be on the show. I'm so happy you're here. When you said that you've been on the show, I was like, wait, but I don't. But you haven't actually been on the show.
Yeah, I've been here and I've watched the show before. So
Well, thank you so much for watching the show. I'm glad and I'm excited that you like it and you wanted to be a part of it. I know I introduced you a little bit, but tell everyone a lot more about yourself.
well, like you said, I am a active duty Marine. I've been in the Marine Corps for about 11 years, 11 years and some change now. I stream on both platforms on Meet Group and Meet Me Side. So I'm, I've been doing this, and we're trying to bring fitness to the app. So I know there are other fitness shows that's on here, but to get everybody active, to get moving, we are back outside now. So I think it's something that's important that we should all stay on top of. So
Yeah, no, and I love that. Well, first of all, thank you for your service as the U.S. Marine. But I love that you want to bring fitness to the app, and because I believe, especially as streamers and content creators, a lot of us tend to be very comfortable inside our little shell at home, just sitting down or being on the computer. And it's so important to actually get moving, right? So for you, when did you become interested in fitness and why, and how do you share that with people?
I would say I've always been an athlete. So since I was a little kid, I played multiple sports throughout middle school, high school. I ran track. I played football. I was on a weightlifting team, and then I chose to do. After that, I went to college, played football for a while. I was like, you know what? I want to challenge myself and do something more. So I joined the toughest branch that I thought. So I was like, you know what? Let's become a Marine. So fitness has always been important to me. Bringing it to the platform is also important via, you see, people smoke or drink and everything else, and they indulge in whatever they like, but the get people up and moving and have them feel good, it's a feel good for me. So, and when I do be able to do that with other people and challenge people, and they see results or they see like, hey, I wasn't able to do this before, like that brings happiness to me. So
How difficult was it to become a Marine?
um it was difficult. I would definitely say that. It's Marines. We have the longest boot camp, so it's 13 weeks. It's mentally and physically challenging, and then even after that, you have to maintain that standard and up it. So it's challenging, but it is definitely rewarding.
My favorite thing about Marines or Navy SEALs or anyone in the Army, in branches or, whichever, I love that you guys are so disciplined, and love that you guys tend to be very organized. And of course, because they teach you how to be that. So today's topic I picked because of you, because it's something that I've even struggled with myself, which is discipline. So, first of all, are you a disciplined person? I'm sure you are.
Yes.
So, how can you stay so disciplined in your own life?
It's That's one of those things that you have to refine, and it's a constant challenge. It's not a you wake up one day and you're disciplined. It's something that you work on every day. So even when you don't want to do something, you have a goal set in mind. Like, hey, well, I don't want to. I may not be motivated to do something, but this is where I want to be, and just those small steps. And I always tell people it's the small steps that bring you to the finish line. So enjoying that journey, and being on top of it. And I said it's not the easiest thing to do, but once you get there every day, those small wins, they really do add up and they really do matter.
I love that you said the small wins, because that's something that I've had to train myself to do, is when I actually achieve a small task, celebrate the small wins. Because if you don't, then it becomes really hard to achieve the bigger goals.
Right.
So what are some things that you do in your daily life that helps you achieve the just anything in life?
Um, I know it's gonna sound a cliche being I'm in the military, but like waking up, making a bed, doing something like that first accomplishment of the day is always like, okay, we're good from there. And then, like I said, you add on from there. I meditate in the morning, so even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes to give myself that time, um, just be with myself, be in my head, have my day planned out or a planner. It's like, hey, this is what we're doing today. This is the goal. So say those. It, I know I keep repeating the same thing when I say the small things, but it really are those little wins that add up throughout the day. It's like, hey, I accomplished this today. I can do this. I can continue to do this. And once it becomes a routine, then you're off and running.
I can totally relate to that, because in 2020, one of the things that I trained myself to do every morning was making my bed. And I was actually reading a book that's called Make Your Bed, literally. And, because I started reading a lot of self help books and all of that. And just having that small habit of making your bed when you wake up, it sets your entire mood for the day.
It really
It
does.
really,
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Yeah, but yeah, it
it's
really
okay.
does.
No, no, it's okay.
So. Please go
But
ahead. I'm
yeah, sorry. I thought you were gonna say something. There's things that happen live, you guys. This happens live. I'm gonna take a quick pause and welcome everybody in who's tuning in right now. I'm seeing a lot of new friends on here. If you're new on my stream, hello, my name is Cicely. I go by that Cuban girl. Yes, I'm Cuban. That's why, born and raised. And this is a featured show called Own It. This show happens every single Tuesday on the Meet Me platform, 5 p.m. Eastern or 2 p.m. Pacific time. We usually have two amazing guests who share their stories and their tips with you and I. And my intention with Own It is number one, for us to become the best version of ourselves through owning the uniqueness of who we are. And number two, if you can't relate to me, hopefully you can relate to either one of my guests, and we can all create better habits and a better life for one another through supporting each other. That is really the intention behind this show. So I appreciate all the love, all the favorites, not just for myself, but for my guests, the likes, the favors, the gives, hearts, whatever it is. Let's all support each other. So thank you for being here. And right now I'm speaking with my first guest of the day, Kraft Mac, who is an active U.S. Marine, active duty U.S. Marine. And the topic of the day today is discipline. And I love this because I picked this because he wrote it in his bio, that he was a Marine. And I was like, okay, I need to talk to him about this because I've struggled myself with that, especially being self employed for so many years.
right.
I I literally struggle with waking up and having my own schedule and being strict with myself, right? So I want to know, Kraft Mac, what do you advise people on here? Somebody who struggles with discipline as well. I know you've talked about the small wins, but anything else you want to add that's going to help all of us?
Um, Write it down. That definitely helps me a lot. Write it down. So if you have a plan, a goal, ambition to whatever you want to do, put it down. Put it on a piece of paper. Write it on your mirror so you can see it in the morning when you're brushing your teeth. Um, Put it on the note somewhere. Write it down so that you can constantly remind yourself like, hey, this is what I want. This is my goal. Um, Another thing, staying disciplined is, I say it's we live by the rule of 80/20, right? So if you fail 80% of the time, like, hey, everything's good, that 20% is going to happen. It's like, hey, I might have slipped, or I didn't do this, I didn't feel good. That's okay. So discipline doesn't mean that you're 100% all the time. It's that when you're lacking that motivation, you're lacking that, "Oh, I really want to do this." You take that day off, okay, that's cool. Now you jump back on it and you come harder. So yeah, don't that 80/20 rule I definitely do live by. And I write a lot of stuff down. I have notebooks, I have my little day planner, and I make a goal sheet for the day.
I love that. I also love something that I want to point out that you mentioned at the beginning was that you actually do meditate. And I believe in this too as well. I do very often also, but I have actually met other US military that don't really, they're very 3D, right? Like they don't really believe in meditation and none of that stuff. So I'm very curious for you being a Marine, what got you into meditating?
To be honest, it was actually another streamer on here. Her name is Blue Bridge. Something that she had said that she will always say that she meditates, that she doesn't have the phone in her face first thing in the morning. She's to herself. She has her thoughts and everything else, and I really like that. And I've always done research or like looked into meditation, but never knew how to get into it. I was like, oh, do I just sit here and be quiet, or do I have to sit a certain way? Um, for me, I
Oh my gosh, what happens? Was it me? It wasn't me. You guys, can you guys? It wasn't me, right? Can you see me? One, two, three.
apologies about that.
I, hello, hello, hello. I
I can
added
hear you.
you, Kraft Mac.
Yes, can you hear me?
Hello, hello. Can you guys see me? What just happened? Can you guys see me or no?
I can see you.
Hello, hello. Hi. I don't know what happened, but I think it was probably my connection. I don't know. Anyways, we're back here.
Well, we're back. Yeah, I don't know. It blinked at then I was always off. So I don't know. This platform, it happens.
It's okay. We end the stream. It's fun, and we start over. Hopefully, everybody comes back. But no, thank you for sharing that. You were saying, sorry, what were you saying?
Going over meditation. What I'm about to say is I sit on my bed or I sit by my bed. Um, out 5 to 10 minutes of just breathing and letting whatever thoughts come to my head. Um, I don't really try to drown them out too much. It's just letting them come, and it gives me a sense of relief. One, first thing in the morning, gives me that sense of clarity. And if something does come up, it's like, okay, we're doing this. It helps me start my day.
Yeah, and I love that you're sharing this being in the US military because I hope and that one day it could be something that they incorporate for you guys in training because it is so helpful. It makes your mind stronger. You know, being physically strong is very important, but being mentally strong is more important than that.
Right.
And I think meditation helps you a lot with that. And you know, I talk about it all the time on the show too, and people that come on the show talk about it too. I think it's so important. I don't do it every day. I used to during the pandemic and after, but lately this year has been difficult for me with the whole discipline thing. So I'm trying to get back into it daily. um right now I'm doing it weekly, but even if it's weekly, you guys, it really helps your mind. So, Craft Mac, what are your when it comes to streaming, what do you like about streaming? How did you get into it? Tell me, give me all the tea.
Okay. So I got into streaming after a divorce. So I got divorced. One of my friends, he was already on the platform. I'm sitting at his house, and he was like, "Hey, man, you seem depressed. Like you seem down. You're drawn into yourself. Check out." At the time, I was on POF. So it's like, "Hey, come and check out the platform. See what it's all about." It's like, don't worry about the swiping left and right thing. Go straight to the live section. So this is my first time. I have no idea what you're talking about, man. Like live, what are you talking about? He immediately is like, "Hey, they have a red box up. You need to jump in and go talk to them." At first, it was weird. It's like, I'm not, this is a little awkward. Learn how to read the room. So of course I learned how to read the room, and I just randomly come in and like, "Hey, how are you? What are you doing?" And then I started engaging with people, having these deep conversations, showing up to these parties that I didn't even know existed online until I was here. And I ran into some truly amazing people. Um, Started hosting my own events. Once I started streaming, it kind of just went from there, and I've built my own little family and my own tribe, and we've been running ever since. So streaming
I
has
love
been.
that. I love that. And I love that you have the bag with all the names and everyone shout outs. I love that you do that as well. I have to do it. I've been meaning to create my own little studio here for a while, and I'm finally going to do it in the next couple of weeks. So I'm really excited about that. But I love I love your energy, I must say. You're very light and soft, and you know, I love what you project. So thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. Do you have any shout outs, any time scheduling that you stream at?
Yes. So I am on, like I said, I am on Meet Me and POF. I am definitely going for my top badge over here. So you can catch me here usually in the afternoons around from 5 p.m. after work, 5 p.m. until maybe 7 or 8. And then you can catch me, like I said, on the other side on POF where I do have my royal badge. And I am from there from the 8 o'clock time span until later. And I do have an event over here that I will be doing with Beauty, and she's on the board back here, the beautiful Miss Beauty. We'll be doing Christmas in July, so July 27th. So I'm dressing up as an elf because Santa's been calling us all summer talking about these presents, and look, Santa got to leave us alone. So a lot of things planned, have a way out planned out that I'll be hosting on the other side, and then I definitely want to host an auction. That'll be my third auction I hosted over here. So a lot of plans, a lot of plans.
I love that. Well, everybody, I encourage you and invite you to go check out Craft Max streams, their event, his events. Go favorite him. Go give him some love. This is the whole purpose of us, featured content creators is for us to plug each other.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, and I will be on Top Badge PYT's ABCs with PYT tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So
I love that. I love that. And hey, I want to let you know, I don't know who your admin is for the show and the events, but if you ever need a guest or anything, let me know because I love your vibe and I would love to support you.
that's amazing. Thank you so much, and thank you. And I wanted to shout out to your admins. They're absolutely killing it. Beer Raider and Emoji J, I definitely appreciate y'all reaching out. And thank you, because like I said, I really wanted to be on your show, and I made it. I made it.
Thank you. No, they're definitely the best. Shout out definitely to Beard Raider because she's like the newest addition and she's amazing. And of course, Emoji J. Emoji J has been my OG admin since I started the show. I tell him all the time the show. I could not do the show without him because he knows like everyone on the app and I don't. But thank you so much for being on the show, Craft Mac. I want to invite you. I don't know if you have time to stay all the way to the end because I would love to bring you back with my second guest.
I will be here.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you later. How amazing was that, you guys? I love meeting new people, meeting new guests. Yes, thank you, Jay. I read you. I read it. Thank you so much for keeping me updated. Yeah, you guys. So thank you and welcome to Own It. I just want to let you know that we had a technical issue about 5 6 minutes ago, and I had to restart the stream. That's probably why you don't see that we have a lot of views yet. But we were like over 100, and then it crashed, and I had to restart it. So if you came back, thank you. If you just tuned in, thank you so much as well. It was the weather. It's a beautiful day in Southern California, so I don't know what happened. It's probably my Wi-Fi, to be honest. I apologize, but thank you all for being here. This is Own It. If you don't know who I am, my name is Cicely. I know it's an odd name for a Cuban, but I promise I am born and raised in Cuba. I moved to the States at 14. English is my second language, believe it or not. And yeah, you guys. So I'm in entertainment. I've been in entertainment for a little bit over 10 years, and I love connecting with my community. My passion, my biggest dream is to do TV hosting, which is why I do Own It and I do streaming. This is what I truly love is connecting with people, human connections. This is what I live for. And I want to invite you all to connect with me on Instagram. I don't know if Emoji J can drop my Instagram down here, but connect with me on Instagram. I am literally on Instagram always because I work from my phone. And I have a second Instagram that I just started that is called Digital Wealth with Cece, in which I share digital, just tips and social media tips daily and all that stuff. And that is brand new. I just started like a week ago. So yeah, but I do all of that because I generally love giving value and connecting, and I am learning as well. So I share what I learn. So today's topic of the show is discipline, and the reason I chose this topic today is because one of my guests, whom I just spoke with, Kraft Mac, he's an active duty U.S. Marine, and I figured, everyone usually in the military is super disciplined. That is something that I am struggling, but I'm getting over. Like I'm learning. I'm disciplining myself to be more disciplined, if that makes sense. So I figured let's talk about this because I know I'm not the only one who struggles with discipline, especially when you work for yourself and you have your own schedule and you have to be disciplined to get things done. But even if you're not, even if you have a 9 to 5, you still need to be disciplined. If you're here, that means you're a streamer for the most part. You have to have discipline for literally everything we do in life in general, period. So I love receiving excuse me, receiving tips and advice from people who actually are good at stuff. And the same way I share with you guys what I'm good at, I love learning from all of you guys as well. So today's topic is discipline. And before I continue with the format of the show, I want to make a quick pause and give shout outs to everyone who's in here right now today. Because even though I can't address each and every one of you individually, because it's, content, excuse me, feature show rules, right? We have to respect the format and talk to the guests and all of this. I want to let you know I am reading every single comment, every single username that's popping on my screen. Thank you for the hearts. I see you. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the wheel. That who sent Tanisha. Tanisha sent the play, and then someone sent the wheel. Whoever sent the wheel, who was it? Let me see. Who sent the wheel? Thank you so much for sending the wheel and for sending the love. Okay, so let me give some shout outs. Of course, shout outs to Emoji J and Beard Raider, my admins. But let me go up to my gifters, and I'm going to give the shout outs to number 4, Emoji J. Thank you. Number 3, Smiles. Hi, Smiles. Long time no see. Number 2, Juliet. Thank you, Juliet. I know you were gifting me. You were actually number 1 in my last stream before it crashed. So thank you. Number 1, Tanisha. Thank you, Tanisha, for all the love. And yeah, you guys, at the very end of the show, stick around because whoever's my top streamer of the day is going to be my newest bouncer. I will probably be doing 2 bouncers today because the stream crashed and I want to keep it fair and fun. So yeah, so we're gonna do that, okay? But thank you for being here and tuning in. I do want to ask you to favor me, please, so we can get to the 5,000 favorites. And without further ado, I am going to share with you now the quote of the day. Thanks for the favor, Melody. The quote of the day is very simple but very impactful, in my opinion. I'm not going to lie. I Googled quotes on discipline, and it was literally the first thing that popped. And I usually scroll around and and find one that really resonates with me. But this one was the first one, and I was like, this is it. So I can't wait to share it with y'all. And this is a quote of the day. We do not have to be smarter than the rest. We have to be more disciplined than the rest. We do not have to be smarter than the rest. We do have to be more disciplined than the rest. And I love that. I do speak Spanish, Barbie G. I explained that. I just can't do the show in Spanish, but Spanish is my first language. Um, so I love this quote because I have found in my own personal life to be so true, because so many people out there, even in content creating, even in streaming, I don't want to say they're not smarter, because I don't want to put that label on anyone. We are all smart in our own ways. Some people are book smart, some people are street smart. We're all smart. But what I mean is, I have seen people maybe with less talent than others, maybe people with less ability in whichever way, right? I mean, all of us, you and I, are good at some things and bad at others. That is just what being human is. However, I have noticed in content creating, in streaming specifically, those who are more disciplined, it doesn't matter how much talent they have. If you're disciplined, if you're streaming every day at the same time, if you're posting content every day, sharing and committed to it, you are going to grow. You are going to make money. You are going to truly be the one who excels because you're disciplined. And this is talent is questionable, okay? Discipline is never questionable. You work hard, you're more disciplined, you're out there, you're focused, you're going to be successful. I don't care what anybody says. So I just love that quote because of that, because I personally relate to that so much. And I wanted to share that with you guys in case you're dealing with procrastination and not being disciplined. That should be another show, procrastination. Drop a 1 if you want me to do a show on procrastination. But yeah, you guys, I just wanted to share that with you all. And yes, Emoji J, thank you for answering that. I do speak Spanish, everyone. I speak Spanish probably better than English. So I spoke only Spanish for 14 years of my life, okay? Spoke and wrote. So all right, you guys. So this is Own It. If you're just tuning in, welcome. The show crashed a little while ago, but we restarted it. It's so good. The show must go on, you know? Thank you for being here, for supporting, for your beautiful energy. I am going to now invite to the show my second guest of the day. Oh, thank you, Tanisha, for that. I'm still trying to figure out how you guys do that and send those little cute thingies. But thank you all. So unfortunately, I had an issue with my second guest of the day. She probably had an emergency, something happened, but thank God I have Emoji J and Beard Raider who are my admins, because imagine if I didn't have admins, I would have no idea. So shout out to both of you guys. Go check out their streams. Um, so, my second guest of the day is Beautiful Blessings, right? And I know that she's been on my show before. I think, right? You have, and I know I have your bio somewhere. I would have looked for it, but this was so last minute that I'm just going to introduce you, Beautiful Blessings, to Own It. Um, so excited to talk to you.
I was gonna, hi. You know, it's funny.
Hi, it's been a long time.
I was actually gonna send you a message to see if we could redo the show, because the show was on authenticity, and you didn't get a chance to record it. Remember?
Oh yeah, you're right. How are you? No, but
you had based the topic of the show off my bio, which I don't have on me, but
yes, no, I definitely knew that you've been on my show before. I just don't have, I have your bio somewhere, but it's okay. Remind everybody who you are and what you do.
So a lot has changed since the last time you saw me. I'm
Really?
a top badge now. I just got my top badge.
Wait. Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you. So yeah, so that's a big thing. So you know, it kind of changes things when it comes to the app. That's the biggest thing. We're working on a featured show. But when I first came on the show, we were talking about authenticity and being who you are no matter what.
I love that. Well, congrats. Congrats on the top batch, first and foremost. How does it feel to, I love the googly eyes.
Hi, ex-husband, how are you?
How does it feel to be a top batch now? And what was the process? Like, are you happy with it? What was the process to make it?
The process was tough. My goal wasn't to be a top badge. I was like I actually came on the app to support a friend of mine, who actually didn't know that it was me when I first started gifting them, because I believed in their you know, in their crafts, and I just wanted to contribute. So honestly, that wasn't even, you know, a forethought in my mind. But I guess I fell into the right hands. Khaled, stop. I fell into the right hands. I fell into a group of people, you know, who support me, who see my light, who reminded me that I have something to share with others. And although there were lots of times where I wanted to leave, I'm still here.
Well, I'm glad you're still here. And congrats again for that. I'm glad that you're still here sharing your story. I remember that we had an amazing time on the show, and like you said, we talked about authenticity. You're a really authentic person. We talked about your username as well, I remember. Thank you, Caleb, by the way, and hello, King Goober. So I just so Beautiful Blessings, just tell everybody, you know, we're talking about discipline. So I'm wondering, what is your 2 cents on discipline?
It's been a struggle my entire life. in some ways I have to have it because of the difficulties that I face on a daily basis, because I depend on other people. The way that I do things, I have to make appointments. It's a pain in the butt, but it's important. It's definitely important. It's a setup for success. If you're not disciplined, then you're not going to be successful. If you're not structured, it's structure is what it is. The only difficult part for me, honestly, is when I work out of boxes. Once I have to switch, it gets harder. You know, like when there's a change that I'm not used to dealing with, that's where my struggle is. And even with the streaming, like I haven't been consistent, you know, because of life gets in the way, but you have to put in that time. It's 2 hours divided up into five days. It's at least for top edge, it's 2 hours.
You guys are only required to
10 hours, sorry. 2 hours a week, 2 hours a day.
So 10 hours a week.
10 hours a week. Yep.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's good to know. Amazing. Yeah,
that's
and
the requirement. If you want to grow more and be out there, then you know you do more than that. But that's the requirement.
Right. And what's the diamond requirement again?
So you have to do 250K from the time that you apply up until they send you the email. It varies with the person. I did it in 3 weeks. But I was also hitting the beyond the requirements before that. So you can't really go by what, you know, they did for me.
Yeah, 100%. Everyone's journey is different. I'm so happy that everyone's supporting you on here. Yes, I love this.
Well, let's let everyone pick up. You throw it. Never mind. It's featured now.
Yeah, it's featured. I love seeing that though. I love seeing that. No, I love that so much. But yeah, what you're saying, to your point, I love, you know, being disciplined, especially streaming. Thank you so much, Kayla. Was that Kayla? Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. It's, you know, that's been my challenge as well, is to be more consistent on here. But this week I'm focused in a very different way. I'll talk about it more when we're not featured, but I'll talk about my journey lately on here in another moment. But, you know, I decided that I really wanted to focus more on being more disciplined when it comes to streaming and my content and my platforms and all of that. So I love that you're sharing your story. Is there anything you want to shout out? I'm going to have you stay in the box and I'm going to bring Craft Mac with you, but anything you want to shout out right now?
Like what? I mean, like I said, I'm kind of just organizing my life so that I can balance the streaming with real life, you know, because we all have lives outside of the app. But I think streaming is important, at least for me, because it has given me the confidence that I lost. I used to do a lot of speaking and advocacy and things like that. And, you know, during COVID and certain family situations, unfortunately, I had to stop doing that. So this is my way of practicing and getting back into my groove. I think that's why I forced myself to do it. You know, just set your mind to something. It's a pain in the butt if you have to write everything down in a little box in a calendar. Do it.
I agree with that.
I make lists, you know what I do, and the lists freak me out. So what I do is I cover the list with the piece of paper and just go one by one. And I set, unless it's something very, very, very like urgent, I'll try. This is me trying. I actually have a timer like a little kid. And I time myself and I say, okay, I'm going to give myself this amount of time to get it done. And if I don't get it done within that amount of time, like I said, if it's not an emergency, then I move it over to the next day. if I'm able to finish it, I finish it and I check it off the list.
I love that. Mambo says that is extremely amazing. I agree with that because I really agree with the fact that I do like lists, but I have what I do is I have a dry erase board, like a really big one on my wall, and I write everything big in my dry erase board, and then that's how I go through things, and that really, really, really helps me too. Alessia, hello. My friend Alessia is the one that got me on the app, you guys. So shout out to her.
Well, and the other thing that I do is I do a lot of, self-care, like working out, just to get my brain, just to get my brain together. I actually was at the New York City Puerto Rican Day Parade this weekend. So shout out to Dan Daniel for putting me on the float, which was awesome. That was an amazing experience. But just getting out and socializing and, having me time as well, that should also be, part of it. You time is very important in conjunction with the discipline. Otherwise, you'll go insane.
100%. Well, I thank you so much for being here. Beautiful blessings. I'm going to take like 2 minutes to do some shout outs and then I'll bring you and Craft Mac back on the show for final thoughts, if that's okay.
Okay, good. Okay.
Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Thank you, my love. She's so amazing. I love talking to like new, my friends. She's not a new friend. I've known her for a while, but I love people sharing their stories. There's still so much more, so don't go anywhere. They're going to come back in the box. Is Craft Max still here? I hope he is. But I just want to do a couple of shout outs, my loves. Thank you so much for the hearts, the gifts, the favorites. I see them all. I appreciate them all. I love that, I appreciate your time and energy and just being on the show today. So let me go through the comments real quick. And I want to shout out to Hey Good Looking. Thank you for the favorite. I appreciate favorites. Thank you for the wheel. Juliet, thank you, Juliet. Shout out to Juliet. Who else? Let me see. Let me go up. Mambo, Dragon, don't worry, I'm Lexi. Hello, shout out to everybody. Smiles, hello. Moody, Andrew, Moody, hello, my love. Shout out to my friend Moody. Shout out to Super Adventurous. Shout out to Beautiful Blessings, who's coming back soon. Thank you, Caleb. Shout out to Caleb. Caleb, I think I favored you already. I'm gonna favor you. I appreciate all the love and support, Caleb. Let me go now to my gifters box. And I'm going to do my top 10 because I appreciate everyone's love and support. So number 10 is Jonathan. Number 9 is Bello. Number 8, Timmy. Number 7, my friend Alessia. Number 6, Smiles. Number 5, King Goober. Hi, King Goober. Number 4, Blessings. Number 1, Sancho. Number 3, Tanisha. Number 2, Juliet Old School. And number 1, Caleb. Thank you, my loves. Thank you so much. The show would not be the same without you all. So thank you. It's really nice to see you too, Super Adventurous. And, I wanted to do that before I bring my guests back. So I wanted to have some time to do shout outs for you guys. But I'm going to bring back my 2 guests for final thoughts. I want to ask them 2 questions. I always have one question that I always have one question that I ask, but today I'm going to ask 2 questions. I'm curious to see what they have to say in the last minutes of the featured hour. So my 2 guests, can you please request the guest box? Beautiful Blessings and Craft Mac. Let me see. Beautiful Blessings. Is Craft Mac here? Hi, my love. Thank you for coming back. Let me see. Is he still here? He told me he wasn't going to go anywhere. I hope he's still here.
You know how men are. They are.
You know how men are. You messaged him, Jay? Man, did he leave us?
This is how they show their love. See, my ex is showing his love by, squirting me with the water gun.
Is he really your ex?
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Major T. Okay, okay. Thank you, Beard Raider. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you.
We
So
just
he's in.
pretend to keep the to keep the people asking questions.
Keep the suspense going. Suspense.
We're just really close friends.
So I want to ask you, beautiful blessings. What is like one of something that you've struggled with the most that now you find as a strength?
So my big heart and my kindness is a blessing and a curse. If that makes sense.
Elaborate.
I normally move with my heart on my sleeve and look for the good in people all the time, even if I see red flags. I've now learned that I need to be in a place where I'm celebrated and not tolerated, and that's not selfish. But I can still have a big heart and be kind because those two things are free.
I love that. I love that. Being celebrated and not tolerated. I've never heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So, what is one thing that you can own? I guess it's kind of the same question, but this is what I always ask people at the end of the show. What's something that you can own about yourself in your journey?
I've made mistakes. I've held myself accountable, and I've learned from them.
Okay, okay, okay. I love that. I love that. Really, you've never heard that before where you've been, I don't know. There's a lot of things I haven't heard before, you know? I don't know it all. But I love that. Thank you for sharing that with me. Yeah, we're still waiting on Craftman. I guess he probably had
Is that
something
good? Or
happen.
do you want another answer?
Huh?
It's all encompassing. I'm sorry, you asked for one, but like I think they all mesh together. They're all intertwined.
Yes, they all are, and that's okay. Thank you for your answer. I love that. I love both answers. So I don't want to hold you back anymore. I know we're waiting on Kraftmark, but I don't know where he is. Is there anything you want to say lastly? Beautiful blessings anything you want to say to everybody on here?
Just be yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself and know your worth as a human being.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I so agree with that. Definitely. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Beautiful blessing, especially, stepping in. I really appreciate you. I love that. Thank you for bringing your community on here, your friends on here. And I've
I
had a
would have
great
brought more, but it was like literally to like a minute.
I know. And I'm so sorry about that, but
No,
thank you
it's
so
fine.
much.
It's okay. It's good.
Yeah,
You know,
thank you for stepping
you
in.
work. That just shows. That just shows. You know, you work. You work. You know, I like I said, I've been in situations where I've had to switch things around last minute and do what I got to do, and I'm very very lucky that I have this support system that I have where I can send a message and people will be here in 2 seconds. I mean, Khaled, I don't even know how he knew I was on the show. And he's in here. So there you go.
Are
But
you
you know what I'm
witchy?
saying? Huh?
Are
He's
you
soft.
witchy?
Maybe we have ESP, who knows? You
I
came to
love. Oh wait, he made it. He made it.
coincidental. You wanna know what? I think you just knew that I was here. You had a spidey sense.
You made it. We thought we lost you.
Yeah, I have the app. Maybe it's just that it was giving a little circle, so had
The
to
app is
refresh, come out,
has
delete
been a
it,
little
come back in.
glitchy.
It is a little glitchy
So,
because I
but
had to
yes, I
restart the
made
whole
it back.
stream. You made it back. Well, welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here. So let me catch you up. I already asked beautiful blessings, but what I'm gonna ask you the same two questions. Question number one is what has been your biggest struggle that you've had to overcome?
My biggest struggle that I had to overcome, personal wise, is that my children aren't with me right now. They are in a different location. So just being around them. I have two little girls. I flip this world upside down for them. So just not having to hear personally, but I mean they're good. Their mom is amazing, um, and we co-parent very well. So
That is very important. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you, Caleb. And the second question is, which is this is the first question was the bonus question. The second one is what I always ask people on the show here, and it is, what is something that you can own up about yourself that has helped you throughout your journey?
ooh, um,
She has good questions.
having the ability to actually sit back and listen and not just hear someone, but actually listen to what they're saying, and including myself. So being fully conscious, like my surroundings and what's going on, and like I said, being able to listen to people's opinions and take it constructively, and not feel like it's a personal attack or it's something negative against me. People genuinely do care for you, and hey, sometimes those hard words are exactly what you need to hear. So once you get past yourself with that, then being able to own up to what you have been going through or what you're doing, it makes it a lot easier and it gives you a nice level of clarity. Well, okay, I know what I got to do.
I
I
love
think you
that.
have to be I think you have to be open to that first though, and you have to be present. You definitely have to try to go in it with an open mind and open heart.
100%. That's why he meditates. Did you guys know each other?
We have each other faved, I think, but I don't think we've checked each other out.
I love that. Well,
Not
now
so
you
much.
do.
I know Beautiful Blessing. I think from now, yes, I'm saying I officially get a chance to meet you. So
Well, nice to meet you.
Well,
that
thank you
nice to meet you.
both so much for being on the show today, for your precious time and energy. Thank you, Kraft Mac, for liking the show before you were even a guest on the show, for just watching it when you did, and I appreciate you and your energy so much. And Beautiful Blessings, thank you for being a dear friend, not a stranger to the show. Thank you for stepping in so last minute. I didn't even know that we had issues with my second guest, so thank you,
I didn't know.
Emoji
I
J.
didn't know what the topic was. I was like, "What?" But I figured I could. I mean, I love your show and I love your topic. So I was like, I'll do it. If it was anyone else, I'd be like, no.
Wow, well, that means a lot to me. Thank you so, so, so much for liking my show and everything. We try to keep it inspirational and uplifting here, so I appreciate you guys. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is before I let you go, I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna give bouncers, and today because we've had issues and stuff, I'm gonna make both of you guys my bouncers. I'm not sure if Beautiful Blessing you already are a bouncer on my
I
stream,
think I
but
am.
okay, let me see because I did like a little reset. Are you still one? But I'm gonna make Craft Mac my bouncer as well, and then of course my number one gifter is going to be my bouncer also. Just
Khaled. Khaled.
Khalid, yeah, just as a thank
Khaled, we're
you.
gonna have to work together now. Can you handle it?
I love it.
But they,
You
of
have beautiful.
course,
He just did it to be close to me, Cuban girl. He just did it to be close to me.
it's okay. Wait, what were you saying, Craftman? I couldn't hear you.
No, I said no, absolutely. You have beautiful energy, so I appreciate it.
Ah, no, thank you so much. No, you guys, everyone that comes that is a guest on my show is usually amazing energy, and I owe that to my admins who know they already know the people that I would vibe with, even if I don't know them. So I appreciate you guys so much. So I don't think it's letting me do the bouncer while you guys are in the box. So let me say goodbye and go in the comments and make you guys bouncers. But thank you so much again for being on the show. You guys are all amazing. Thank you for sharing your energy. And I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Of course. So everybody, please go check out my guests. Can you guys write something in the comments, please? Beautiful blessings and Craft Mac. But thank you guys for being here. Okay, beautiful blessings. Hold on. Are you oh no, you are a bouncer already. Ah, thank you for being a bouncer. And then Craft Mac is going to be my new bouncer. Thank you guys. And Khalid, of course. I kept calling you Khalid or Khalid. I don't know, you guys have an accent, but thank you for supporting, for being here. I appreciate you so much. But yeah, go check out my guests. Go check out their streams. Go check out what they do, what they're about. Be part of their community. I myself, I'm going to be streaming more often this week, and I'm gonna stay right now, even after the show, for a little longer. If you guys, because I don't think we're featured anymore, right, Moji J? Because it used to be 15 minutes past the hour, but now I think it's on the hour on the dot. So I think I'm just gonna stay for at least another half an hour. Accountability buddy also works. You're right, it definitely does. I'm such a loner though. It's funny because I know so many people, but I'm such a loner. And great show, thank you, King Goover. I'm gonna